So today we are watching another video. Young America Films presents Buying Food. It was so difficult in the 50s they had to make a video about it. I wonder if it involved radiation.
The American housewife, who has a more important, a more responsible occupation. Wife,
Doctors,
mother,
lawyers,
counselor,
the
maid,
president,
chef, purchasing agent. All of these are her duties.
someone who has the
time or
nuclear
another.
codes. I don't know, those people could be
If
more
her
important than the
income is
housewife.
limited, and most incomes are, it is her duty to be sure that what she has to
Yes,
spend
because
buys
some
the most
people
in
have
helpful,
unlimited
nutritious
incomes.
food for her family. Yes, she feels that she must buy wisely if she can. But just what does this mean? What can she do to be
That
sure
means do
her
not
money
buy live
goes as
ducks.
far as possible? One of the first things she can do is just what this young lady is doing. Shopping from a grocery list.
Dear God, not a grocery list.
Using the
That's
list
impossible.
stands
No
to
one would
resist
have thought of
so-called
that.
Impulse buying, which is a great waster of housewives' funds.
Yes, don't
What is
impulse buy.
buying?
That Snickers bar will just make you fat, but it will taste good.
Let's take a look at Henry Slinkman.
He
He's
is not a
probably guilty of
housewife.
it. Henry's going to pick up something
Mainly
for dinner.
because he has
His
balls.
wife didn't tell him what to get. Anything that looks good, she said. Henry's been working hard all day, and he's hungry. What's more, he's hungry for something different, getting tired of the same old things all the time.
Steak, Henry.
That's
Buy
it.
steak.
That's what he's hungry for, oysters.
Really?
So Henry
Oysters?
takes not one,
You're a
not
weird
two,
little
but
man,
3
Henry.
pints of oysters. The way he feels right now, he could eat all of them by himself.
It's a lot of oysters, Henry.
Henry and his wife don't often eat cake. Neither of them care much for it. But tonight, Henry's really hungry, and this cake certainly looks wonderful.
Okay. You're not very bright, Henry. I hope you're not a housewife. There's no
Henry
more job
knows he
more
ought to have
important.
some vegetables, good diet, and all that, you know. What's this?
I don't even know what the
Henry's never
fuck
seen
that
anything
is.
like this before. Looks
Well,
good.
either have
so
I. I
he'll
think they
take
just
2.
made something up out of paper mache for us. That looks good. It's in black and white,
Yes,
and it's made out of
Henry
paper
is
mache.
guilty of impulse buying.
Not
But how is
really. His
impulse
wife
buying
sent him to the
wasteful?
store and said, buy shit.
When Henry finished dinner that evening, he was sure he wouldn't be able to eat another oyster for a long, long time.
But he sure wanted to have sex.
And almost 2 of the 3 pints that Henry bought will have to be thrown away.
Poor Henry.
Neither Henry nor his wife cared for the new vegetable. Most of what he bought
That was a
will go to
vegetable?
waste. Henry and his wife tired of the cake long before it was eaten.
Okay.
Henry found out about impulse buying the hard way.
Maybe his wife found out not to just send him to the store and say, buy shit.
The housewife may buy quantities which are not economical for her family. Here are 2 different size cans of the same product. The small can contains 16 ounces and costs 12 cents, or 75/100ths of a cent per ounce. The large can contains 31 ounces and costs
Now,
only
for those of
22
you who
cents,
go to the
which is
store and
71
still
hundredths
do
of a cent
this,
per
you are
ounce.
like me.
Which shall she buy?
That one.
The answer depends entirely upon the situation.
So if
the
you
food
have
requirements
6
of the
kids,
family are great enough,
besides
large
the
can
fact
is the better
you are
buy,
probably on
because all of it
drugs
will be used,
and
none
eating a
will be
lot of
left over.
oysters like Henry, you should buy a large can of pork and beans.
But if the family is small, the small
And
can may
sane.
be the better buy, since part of the large can would probably have been wasted.
Yes, it would have. Or you could put in
The right
Tupperware,
answer depends upon the
or
requirements
like
of the
put
purchaser.
like a baggie over it or aluminum foil over it, and it could keep something like that. But
Sometimes
yeah, you can't do
substantial
that.
savings can be affected by buying in case lots. But this presents a storage problem that some people may not be able to solve.
There's a simple solution to that. Dig a pit in your living room.
It's wise to be sure the food is well liked by everyone before you buy too much of it.
Or just make the kids starve.
Obviously, highly perishable foods are not suitable for quantity buying because they spoil too quickly.
That is true.
When buying canned goods, be sure to read the label.
Oh, dear God, making
The information on
Americans
the label
read.
is
That's
much more
wrong.
reliable than the flowery language of advertisements. Some labels are of the descriptive type that you see here, giving
I had
the
to
buyer
think what
some
an
description of what
advertisement
is to
is.
be
Who the
found
fuck
in the
calls
can.
them advertisements? See, you had to
Other
think what an
labels carry a
advertisement
letter
was,
grade,
too.
which indicates the characteristics of the contents. The meanings of the letters vary with the type of food. Usually,
Yes,
the
they
grade
do.
A indicates a fancier product.
And normally more expensive. But it looks better.
For example, these grade A tomatoes are larger, more colorful, and less
And
broken
you
than the
can
grade
clearly
C,
see the
although
color in
both
this black
grades
and
are
white
probably
film.
equally nutritious and healthful.
So, like, if you're making a puree, you used to
These
see
are
it.
canned
Yeah,
string
yeah,
beans.
yeah.
Which is grade A and which is grade C?
Can you tell from the color? Black and white is so great
Here,
at
the
bringing out the
smaller
color
beans
of
are
things.
grade A because they are more tender and taste better.
I can't use that joke again. It wasn't that funny the first time.
Here are grade A and grade C peaches. Can you tell the difference?
No, I honestly can't. Can you? And if you say
Of
yes,
course you
you're
can.
lying your ass
Not
off.
only appearance, but
It
taste
looks
and
exactly
degree of
the
ripeness
same to
determine
me.
the grades of these peaches. The size is of small importance.
They look exactly the same to me, I'll be honest.
The thing to remember is to read the label. Know what you are buying before you buy.
Your family will eat
Did you ever
anything, it
stop to
doesn't
think
matter.
how many ways you could buy one kind of food? Dried,
Dried.
canned,
You can also hit people with the cans.
frozen,
You can hit people with frozen things as long as it's frozen.
or fresh. It
Don't
will
buy
pay you
fresh.
to
They don't make
analyze
good
the
weapons.
situation and decide which is most economical for you. Usually, if it's the season when the fruit or vegetable is ripe, it will be most economical to buy it fresh.
This is true.
This box
Like
of
these
strawberries will
strawberries.
cost about half as much in summer when berries are plentiful.
Actually,
As it
berries are
will
plentiful
in
here in
winter.
Ohio.
The season of the year has a tremendous
Spring
influence
till
on the price
fall.
of most fruits and vegetables.
Peaches are normally
The reason
cheapest
for
here in
this great
Ohio
difference
early
in price
fall.
is the cost of transporting the food from a warm
That's just
climate
how Ohio
where it can be
is.
grown in
We
winter
rule.
to the market, which may be several hundred miles distant.
Look, it's an IGA. I'd say I haven't seen one of those in years.
Different kinds
But
of
I
fruits
actually
and
saw one of
vegetables
those
are
going
in
to the
season
Renaissance
at
Fair the other
different
day.
times throughout
And
the
it
year.
wasn't at the
It will be more
Renaissance Fair.
economical for you to serve the ones that happen to be in season at any particular time.
Yep, like those grapes, which can also make excellent wine if you let them ferment.
You may find that you can save money by doing your own preservation of foods. Home
Yep,
canned
you
food
can-
will
you can
usually
can
cost
anything,
less than commercially
including
canned.
people
And if the housewife's
and
time
human
is
brains.
not too highly valued, this can be a saving.
You need a place to put 'em,
Frozen
though.
foods are the nearest thing to fresh foods available. They are convenient, easily prepared, and palatable, but they are usually
Any dummy
priced
can make
higher
them.
than other types.
Except
This
my
price
brother's
is
girlfriend.
partially offset by the fact that there is no waste.
There can be waste. I can waste anything. Just watch me flush
There
things
are
down the
various
toilet for
meats
no reason.
available to the housewife.
Bye-bye, Keys.
Ranging from the most tender, most expensive cuts
T-bone go down the hole. And
to
T-bone
the equally
steaks suck.
nutritious but less tender portions of the animal, which are sometimes ground or chopped.
Yeah, ground beef is good. Not a
At
good
this point,
steak,
the
though.
cooking ability of the
Meatloaf is
housewife
good,
becomes
too, though.
highly important.
Anything with butter is good.
It doesn't take much
buttery.
skill to make an excellent meal from an expensive T-bone steak,
Really, I hate T-bone steak.
but the sign of an accomplished cook is an attractive and tasty dish made from less expensive meat, hamburger,
Why not just make a hamburger?
frankfurters.
Why not just make a hot dog?
Even a well-prepared, well-seasoned stew is a dish a housewife can be proud to set before her family. The nutritive value of meats varies little with price. The desirability and small proportion of the tender cuts causes them to be priced higher.
See, you could actually learn something from
Milk
this if you
is
weren't
an
listening to
important
me
part
just
of every
ramble.
good diet, but your attempts
Milk
to
is horrible
economize
for
on
you.
it
Don't
may
drink
have
milk.
disastrous results. Use the
It makes your
best
boobs
grade of
bigger.
milk
So
available
women
to
drink
you.
lots
may be contracted through drinking unsanitary raw milk.
You heard him. Disease from milk. It also makes your boobs bigger.
Now let's review the important rules for buying wisely. Shop
Making
from
your
a
boobs
grocery
bigger.
list to avoid impulse buying.
And don't buy that Snickers. You don't need it.
Decide upon the most economical quantity for your family.
And remember, you can't save things.
Check in your local market as to which form of food is the most economical for you.
And fresh foods do not make good weapons.
Purchase fruits and vegetables in season whenever possible.
Yes.
Do your own food preservation when feasible.
Yes. Though you don't know how. No one does.
Exercise your skill and ingenuity in preparing tasty and healthful dishes from less
skinless
expensive
wieners.
meats.
Something that will scare any man.
You'll find that keeping these things in mind will help you to buy wisely and stay within your food budget.
Yes, it will. The end. I hope we all learned something. And if you didn't, then you were clearly listening to me. Good night, everybody.